Hey, Frank, understanding that you guys are a no excuses team, but this was your first game without LeBron. Where did you feel like, now that I'm saying it feels like a dumb question because he's LeBron James, but like, where did you feel like you missed him the most?
It's hard to say with something like that all over. I mean, LeBron's obviously a game changer. Our offensive flow, defensive communication, quarterbacking, playmaking offensively, being able to get guys shots, probably all of that stuff.
Frank, we could see AD's right knee being worked on, or right leg being worked on in the third quarter. He was on the bench, and then he came in the fourth, and I just want to see how you felt he was moving and what he was kind of working through in the game.
Yeah, he tweaked it, and he felt good enough to go back in the game, so we just rolled with it. I didn't feel like he looked limited.
Frank, when you are missing LeBron and you go back and you start to evaluate a game, how do you evaluate things when such a large piece is not on the floor?
You got to go win a game. There's no excuse. We didn't play good enough to win. We got to be better.
It's obviously been a while since Kyle was on the floor. What'd you make of his effort tonight?
He was good. He had good energy. Our team as a whole didn't have great energy throughout the night. But Kyle plays extremely hard as one of his strengths. But overall, as a group, we weren't good enough to get the W tonight.
You now have got the Clippers coming up Christmas Day. What does that game now mean to you?
It's the next game in front of us, which makes it the most important game of the year, which is how we've approached every game all season. And, aside from that, that's really it. We're going to figure out what we did wrong tonight. We're going to get better and try to win the next game. It happens to be the Clippers. It's Christmas Day. Hope everybody has a great holiday and, spend some time with their families. But, it's just it's about the next opponent in front of us. We got to get a win.
I know all turnovers are bad, but the nature of some of the live ball turnovers and some carelessness, was that, how much did that irritate you when it was going on?
Yeah, it's something that's been a problem for us. We talked about it pregame. We've talked about it on the most recent road trip, clicking on a lot of cylinders, but still turning the ball over too much, which is a form of beating yourselves. And, it's definitely part of tonight's loss.
Frank, with 5 days of rest come Wednesday, do you feel LeBron will be ready?
Well, we'll see how he is. He's day to day, and hopefully he'll be available for us on Christmas Day. But we'll see how the injury heals up, and whenever he gets back, we'll benefit from that for sure.
All right, so the Lakers unsure, Frank Vogel unsure. We'll know more later, big game James. But he was asked about, how do you look at this game when the big piece known as LeBron James is not there? And bottom line, James, it's the NBA. And Jordy spoke about this too. This is next guy up opportunities, and you got to find a way to win the game. And tonight they weren't able to do that.
Yeah, the phone was not answered tonight. LeBron out, and we always used to say, keep your phone on the hook because you never know when you're going to get called. And I think when LeBron is out, guys have to step up. Not AD so much. He's got enough responsibility, but the next guys, Rondo's got to take more responsibility. Kuz did what he could. Once again, that guy's not getting any shots. Danny Green only hit one shot.
Yeah.
And the other two were field goals. So, you got to get shots up for guys who can produce. So, getting out, points in the paint, turnovers and stuff like that, those are the things that will concern me the most. You're going to have shooting slumps, but turn the ball over, points in the paint, things like that. Those are the things that I'd be a little bit more concerned about.
That's the one for me, James. I think Denver turned it over 9 times, and only one of those was in the second half. They had 31 assists. You flip that over. The Lakers had 19 turnovers, 24 points, and they had 18 assists. So it was just a flip-flop. I mean, the home team is supposed to be playing like that, right, Jordy?
Yeah, they were just discombobulated from the start. I mean, they didn't have their leader, their playmaker, their initiator for all their stuff. So guys are looking over their shoulder trying to find out where the offense and where the playmaking comes from.
Let's talk a little Kuz. I think we're going to hear from him soon. But Kuz, it was nice to see him back, James. And I said this earlier to Jordy. I just thought he was playing a little more freely. And you saw that in the highlight, too, where he's cutting to the basket. We just getting those floaters. Just more the Kuz we're used to seeing, big game.
It was a smooth Kuz.
Yes.
You know, he wasn't trying to rush into things. He kind of waited for it on his little floaters. And this little running hooks, you could tell he was under control, wasn't trying to force the issue. So that was good to see. That was a good sign for Kuz tonight, covered it for 16 points on 7 of 15 shootings. But not one player tonight for the Lakers was in the plus, minus. They all had a minus. So that lets you know, like Jordy was saying, that's energy right there. You know, not getting the loose balls, not going out to every rebound, spectating a little bit too much. That's why that is.
Now, I know Kuz was rested because he hadn't played in a while, but it made me remember how much they missed him on that road trip. Just having that energy, that guy off the bench that can get you 15, 16 points on any given night, especially in Indiana and Milwaukee.
He looked like a guy who hadn't played in a while, who was excited.
Ready to go.
Yeah, and everybody else looked like guys who've been on a long road trip and just got back home. So they need to put that energy together as a unit moving forward, especially come Christmas Day. You know, the city's going to be ready for this matchup. It was the same matchup on opening night, and they're trying to make a bigger deal of it than it is. But it's Lakers Clippers. It's the in-house rivalry.
Does the whole family watch it? Will the whole family watch it, or will you kind of have to be in your own little...
No, we could all watch it.
Everyone watches that game?
Yeah.
Watch a lot of NBA on that day?
Yeah, I'm gonna be at a friend's house. Patrick, we'll go watch the game together.
Watch the Lakers Clippers. All right, let's go inside the Laker locker room. Kuz is there with Mike.
Again, they developed a nice cushion. They got a little cushion early on, but they really need to get back. They got a big one coming on Christmas Day. You don't want to go 3 in a row.
Again, it's not a lack of effort. It's just not playing well, right, Jordy?
Yeah, they look very discombobulated. Sometimes when you get back home after a long road trip, your timing's all off, your sleep schedule's off, and nobody's feeling sorry for the Lakers. That game is circled on everybody's calendar. So when they come into Staples or when the Lakers come into town, they're excited and energetic and ready to play. And the Lakers just didn't have that enthusiasm, that energy tonight.
What did you see, Jordy? It was 67-65, 6 minutes and 46 seconds left. Looks like the Lakers had got a little momentum. They're leading by 2. And from that moment on, the Nuggets completely dominated. They went on a 14-15 run over the next, 8 to 10 minutes, really, to blow that game open.
Really, it was a couple things in that little segment. It was a couple turnovers, a couple missed shots, forced Frank Vogel to call another quick timeout, and then the energy just shifted. The momentum shifted, and Denver took advantage of it and just kept riding that momentum. The Lakers kind of put their heads down and felt a little sorry for themselves, and Denver was just picking up on that and continuing to attack.
Yeah, one of the first times that it just looks like they were playing hard, but just without a purpose, like going through the motions a little bit, like waiting for Denver to kind of, give them an opportunity to make their run, and Denver never did. And the Lakers never really went out and grabbed it. You know, they just played hard and shot some shots, but didn't really like they had that fierce competition that we needed to go out and take this in the third, fourth quarter.
You know, all of us were talking right before halftime when we looked and we saw that the Lakers only had 6 assists. And that's just unlike this Laker team. And it's their first game playing without LeBron. We talked a lot about that in the pregame show. What kind of mindset do you have? And you expect that ball to move a little bit more. It just seemed like a lot of pounding, a lot of dumping it in, and a little bit stagnant, Jordy.
Yeah, I think you realize that LeBron James is actually the head of the snake. And when you're coming to play the Lakers, they're going to say, try to stop LeBron. So with him out of it, it's almost done for them. And the Lakers look discombobulated. Like they didn't know where to turn, where things should start, where the offense should be initiated. And it got very stagnant, very one-sided, very selfish style basketball. I know that we don't have any selfish guys on the team, but just it kind of got into that mode throughout the game.
Yeah, big game. You look and you see, the Lakers, you mentioned their last 4 games, 19 turnovers, 22 turnovers, and then 19 turnovers again tonight. The new starting lineup, you put in Avery Bradley and Rajon Rondo, but really you look at this team, it's just AD and Kuz, the only 2 guys in double figures.
Yeah, that means that, the ball wasn't moving. Again, only 6 points, I think, on the fast break. So they got to figure out a way to play without LeBron. I mean, Rondo is a great point guard. He's got to figure out how to way to zip the ball, get guys quicker shots, and guys have to take their shots. You know, a lot of times shots are there, they pass them up. But you know, defensively, there's no excuse for not, you know, being able to defend at home.
You know, it's funny. We talked a lot about Rondo at the end of last year, and when we thought, you know, his role coming off that bench, playing that 20 to 23 minutes is where he'd be so valuable. Big game. It seems like when he has those starters minutes, and the team is just going to run differently without LeBron James and Rondo in there. He's a different style of player.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's just the nature of anything. When somebody's different and their characteristics are different, it's going to affect the team completely differently. You look at the guys who have been playing consistent in a lot of minutes, their shots that LeBron James just creates for them are wide open, corner threes, things like that they just didn't have those opportunities tonight because there wasn't LeBron James demanding all that attention.
Yeah, AD, by the way, still delivered James 32 points.
Yeah, he can get his.
Yeah.
You know, points are not a problem for AD. He can get his at any point. But get it back to LeBron. You know, Rondo's not going to draw the same type of attention. When he goes downhill, they're not going to come off of him like they do LeBron. LeBron, they kind of collapse a little bit. That makes it a little easier. I think LeBron at this stage of his career knows where to find people a little better. But they're not used, like you were saying, they're not used to playing with Rondo.